Welcome, survivors, to part 6 of 20 Steps to Finding Joy in the Trials. This is we've been doing this for several months now, so I want to do a little recap. This is from a webinar for a group that I had on Facebook called Life Beyond. Okay, this is the topic. This is the topic is the reason that I created this group. This is the topic that is the difference between struggling in trial and truly living with them. This is the topic that squashes the old saying, there is light at the end of the tunnel. I'll explain that in just a minute. I hate that term. And this is the topic of my next book. So you will have all of this information before the book is out, and I'm really excited to get started. So let's start. Okay, here's my problem with this saying. There's light at the end of the tunnel. I'm here to tell you that this saying can develop a defeatist attitude, ruin your ability to find the joy that you seek. And why? Because you may spend your entire life waiting for that tunnel to end. Some trials don't end this side of heaven. And if you're looking for light at the end of your tunnel, you can get very discouraged if your tunnel lasts 2 to 3 years, 2 to 3 decades. With health issues, that can happen. And it can be because you spend your entire life waiting for that tunnel to end. So that's the first problem that I have with this saying, because this saying always made me mad. Because a lot of my tunnels did not end, and they had twists and turns and ups and downs, and I couldn't see the light at the end of the tunnel if I tried, even, this side of heaven, to see the other side of heaven, because they were so long, so twisted, so up and down that the light couldn't get in from the other side. The other reason is because you may meet despair when 20 years have passed, you're still having the same health issue or more issues that happen on top of things. I've had health, financial, other issues just creep in, job issues. Because God doesn't always answer prayer the way we want him to. Sometimes we pray for our tunnel to end, for our trial to end. And that is not what God would have for us. Some people are born with a particular health issue that they struggle with all their life this side of heaven. It's not going to be there afterward, but boy, do they struggle this side of heaven. How do you find light at the end of the tunnel when you can't see the end of the tunnel because God does not answer your prayer the way you want him to? Sometimes he says no, and there's a reason for that. A lot of time, and I'll go into this in a minute, but there are reasons why we do not have our prayer answered the way we want this side of heaven. And also because there is light inside the tunnel if you know where and how to look. And that's what I'm going to focus on for this webinar. So you can see there is light inside the tunnel, but you actually have to look for the light. You have to look in places, and you have to be determined. You have to be proactive about looking for the light inside your tunnel. Because as you can see in this tunnel, you can't see the end. It twists and turns. You cannot see the light at the end of this tunnel, but you can see some light in the tunnel. Okay, step number 6. Understand he might not answer how you planned or would have liked. So I can't tell you how many times my husband and I prayed for something, and when all was said and done, we didn't get what we prayed for. But we got what we needed. There's a song about that. I'm not going to sing it. You get what you need. God always gives you what you need. You just don't always realize right away that is what you need. He doesn't always take you the direct route. And this has become my newest JoJoism. The road to success is often paved with rocky terrain, U-turns, detours, and mountains to climb. I've never read a book about someone who had financial success or any other kind of success who looked like the typical success chart, where you start off in the lower left-hand corner and it goes on an angle, 45-degree angle straight up, and 1 year, 2 year, 10 years, 40 years, whatever it is, it's extreme success. I don't think anybody gets success that way, whether it's financial or health or spiritual or ministry or whatever you're trying to accomplish. The road to success is often paved with rocky terrain where you have to walk over boulders, U-turns. Sometimes you make many U-turns and go back right where you were. Detours up and down, around and through, and mountains to climb, things to get over, hurdles to get over. That's how you get where you're going. And I think the reason for that is because it builds who we are. It builds our strength. Because when I started off going through trials many years ago, I'm 55, I've been going through trials, health trials actually, well, shyness and other things, since I was in my early teens. And the person I was then is not nearly as strong as the person I am now. And the reason I'm this strong is because I went through all this stuff. That is a great asset to have, strength. Okay, that is step 6 in